Make a U-turn. In 1,000 feet, slight left, take the next left, sharp left, turn right on, continue on, in a quarter mile, at the light, in 600 feet, turn right on. You have reached your destination.
Well, this takes me back. I haven't seen one of these since my roadster was in motion. So I've made the stilts. I may need to do some work on that one there, but as inexact as it was, it is exactly perfect. So getting getting in and out of this sucker is going to have to be through the back. It's a little bit too low there. And getting through to the other side that way, you can see, is impossible. I have an idea though. Anyway, lockable casters on all four corners. Nothing holding it down in the front. And in the trunk, the two trunk bolts that would bolt this to the frame of the car are there and there. Yeah, I'm not too displeased. So this is going to give me the ability to get inside and start knocking down rust and junk and crud and so on and so forth. I can take this into my, driveway and wash it. As you can see, it's filthy on the inside. That's probably what I'll do next. Maybe I'll just work from the top down, get the roof first, and just start taking it down bit by bit. You know what I'm saying? Well, bit by bit, taking it down, and then encasing it in the rust converter, the thick purple stuff that'll turn this black, maybe, or purple. Anyway, there you go. There you have it, friends. This is a Coupe on stilts. And a very good one. I'm not displeased. Oh, check this out. So I've got plenty of room to stand while I take care of this. Hell yeah. Hell damn yeah. This is going to be an easy fix, or an easy get to it. Yeah, okay, well, there we go. Cheers. So check this out. This is about 3 hours worth of work. That doesn't look great because of all the grit and junk. But I've got that stripped. I took off the parcel shelf, or the shelf bracket that's over on the, right there, here. 4 screws and it's out, nice and easy. And I've gotten a lot of the stuff off. I still have some stuff to do that are, some of the paint that's in tough to reach corners, so I'll use a sandblaster, I think, to do that. And some work still left to do, so I could probably do that in 5 minutes. Same thing on the other corner. And all of that probably in half an hour. This is going very fast. And then everything in the engine bay and the parcel shelf. So a lot of nooks and crannies in here, so I've got some work ahead of me, but it's not very long. Pretty pleased by all this. Not bad at all. Remember that one time when I said it would take like 2 weeks or more to finish stripping what I wanted to strip? Well, gosh, was I wrong. Check this shit out. All of that is done. Well, knocked down. My next step is to put in some rust cutter on the roof, the B-pillars, all that stripped. You will notice splotches of red. I need to get that with my my sandblaster and or drill, right there and there. Anywhere there's a corner where my angle grinder wouldn't reach. So, yeah, I mean, this went quick. Very quick. And I've even got, I didn't do up in here. I'll get it with a sand blaster, I guess, or just knock it down and rust crud it, because I'm immediately going to cover that with Dynamat. Let's take a look at the engine bay. Got a light there, of course, so you can see that there are some spots, again, I couldn't reach, that will get sandblasted, especially up in the cowls and up in the intakes. The forward portion of the fenders I'm not going to do until I replace that front cowl. It's just going to be easier to do it that way, right? Let's see what else. Let's see the other side. Same thing there. Some residual paint that I'll need to blow down. Some more work I'll need to do, again, with a sandblaster. And that's that. And on the other side, just look at the dust. God dang. Same thing. Again, sandblaster. Sandblaster, sandblaster, sandblaster. And all that. And again, all of this took 2 days and about 5.5 to 6 hours. So I don't know how long it'll take for the sandblaster to do this, but I've got some aggressive grit and some medium grit, and I've also got some walnut shells, right? After I am done with sandblasting and general upkeep of paint removal, and let me back up. After I'm done with this phase of the paint removal, I'm going to take my dual action sander and take down the red. I'm not going to strip it, but I'm going to instead take off the red, get it down with the primer coat, and then cover that with, like I say, epoxy primer. There's an interesting thing here. Water get in there? Should I cover that in? I did notice it on the other side. No. Anyway, so again, red, rust removal, and then I'm going to start getting into metal straightening. For example, this should be straight down, but it's kind of curved up here. I think JP told me that the front took a hit at one point, and I can see evidence of that. This cross member being not straight. So I'll need to figure out something on that. I will need to figure out something down there at the bottom, but the same thing. That's a natural indentation that comes with car. Again, cowl replacement, that won't be tough. Filling in all that stuff won't be tough. This is the piece that'll need to be straightened. That's not tough. This will need to be straightened. That's not tough. That's just a couple minutes and a hammer and a dolly. But you see how this is basically vertical, and then it turns inward. It's not supposed to do that. It should be all that way, all the way. So that's probably why that's got some indentation. I have no intention on getting rid of rust. Weld. I've already ground those down as much as I'm going to. Let's see. This entire piece here, you can see it then just sort of stops there. It gets all grungified and ugly. I need to straighten all that out. Again, that's a hammer and a dolly and I have no idea how long. This stuff dripping down is the rust cutter that I had used. I made a point to put more into that gap there. I'll need to close that gap up, I think. Maybe, whoops, this gap here, and maybe cut that so this entire piece goes inward a bit more, and I can, drill that out, weld it. Okay. Also on the back here, this is not welded well. It's welded well enough, but I'm going to literally drill 2 or 3 holes in a couple different planes and then weld it all back in so that I've got welded adhesion at many points. see what else I have to do. You know, definitely de-rustifying that. That's actual rust that's been painted over. You can see it coming through there. Bit of a dimple there. See, it goes then in and then down. Let me see if that's symmetrical on the other side. I don't think it is. Maybe it is a little bit. I'll have that to fill in. That's going to be easy. I can't get to it too well. Maybe I can from the back. If not, then I'll just grind all that crap out and fill it. Oh yeah. Down here. I've got some work ahead of me here. So, if this car was hit, it was hit on the front on this section. Somewhere right in here, I think. And I feel like an archaeologist. Here's where the metal ends. Here's where some Bondo begins. I know that because I ground some of it out. So somewhere in here is a Bondo layer that's 1/2 inch in some spots. And I'll tell you, I'm not in the mood to remove it and then fix it all. I'm going to leave it as is, honestly. Once I coat this in with epoxy primer, I'm not going to worry about that crap there. But in the meantime, this, again, like the other side, nice and vertical, and then it turns, whoops, nice and vertical, and then it turns in. Shouldn't do that. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that. Whether brute force it with a piece of man steel, and that being a big ass hammer, or cutting it, shaping it, and welding it back. I don't know yet. And this also I'll need to fix, but that's not going to be tough either. That's a hammer right there. It'll pop out that way. Then what's left in here? And you can see a little bit of deformation there. Not bad. Check that out. Check that out. Yeah. Some of the Bondo's coming off here, so what I'll do, because there's a little bit of rust there, I'll take it down there, or maybe here. You can see the lines I just put in the dust, to make sure I don't have rust that's creeping up under. Bondo does not coat against water. It likes water. It's hydrophilic. So you can see it might be no, I've got a new cowl. I'm going to replace it. So I was going to say, I'm going to be able to fix this. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes, there is. And because it was welded in badly over here, it's not even. So it's not even over here either. It slopes and then it slopes down over here. Alright, somebody did some repair up in there, and again, there's all that mangled up in there. That's why I'm thinking car got hit. Look at that. What is that? That's metal. Huh. I'll have to fiddle with that, see what it is later. The other side looks like... No, on the other side looks okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop, and then I'll show you the rest of how it looks once the sandblasting is complete. Got both my garage doors open to kind of air this place out. Blew down with my leaf blower. Yeah, I am just so goddamn tickled at how close I am to being able to prime this. God damn, that's exciting. Okay, so I'm not one for unboxing videos and reviews and shit like that. I'm certainly not reviewing makeup. So this is what's next. One of these puppies. I've actually used one of these before, and I dorked it up. I did. And I'm using this stuff, 80 grit. I purposefully got rough shit to remove metal, right? This is exactly what you think it is. Sand. Yeah. Oh yeah. In prior iterations of my life, i.e. with the Roadster, I used this puppy with, what do you call it, walnut shells. And it worked okay, but it certainly wasn't as aggressive as I would have wanted it to be. So I purposefully bought something that was rougher. 80 grit. Let me see if I can find 80 grit here. There's 60. Hold on. 80 grit corresponds roughly to something like this. Right, that's a 60 grit. So this is a little rougher than what this would be. Made of the same stuff too, by the way. It's just glued on that stuff. I'm oversimplifying things, but okay, so here it is. I need to hook up a, what do you call it, an inlet. I've got one of those, I think, in here. Yeah, I've got other stuff in there. An inlet into this. You pour the sand into here. It shoots out there. And that's it. So I'm going to pause, put this together, and show it to you again. And there she blows. Here's the old one. I thought I'd lost this fucking thing, but... So now I have two sound blasters. That's cool. It did not come... The new one didn't come with this, so I took it off the old one, which is probably just as good. All I need to do is air hose, media blaster, or media, that shit, and it goes. And I'll pause and set up a quick demonstration, maybe. Okay, here we go. This is the dent that's in the back. Obviously, this is the filler neck hole, and I'm wearing PPE. I'm wearing goggles. That's pretty much it. I'm going to see if I can just get a little bit of paint in this basic circle here out and see how it works out. Without further ado. Jesus. Oh, yeah, baby. Guess who's doing the corners today? This is awesome. This is fucking satisfying. I'm gonna pause and just keep going. This is oh. Okay, so I'm out. I'm done. That little bitty tub of stuff I used was not good enough to do all the work I needed it to do, and I frankly used it about 5 times. So whatever grit it's got is no longer grit. So haven't been used 5 times. Again, sand tends to break, and it's nice and soft now, not rough. But draw your eye to the vertical versus horizontal and what looks like a silver or off-white stripe or gray stripe. That is sandblasted metal. All the junk up in there, to a certain degree there, and then stopping there is what I've done. As well as, you can't tell because of the sun, but some of the intake stuff there, and on the other side. So I'm going to order some more of that grit, and I'm going to be able to get at these areas here. I'll probably take a drill to this first, and a wire wheel, and get rid of as much junk as I possibly can. I was able to get up in there, and what looks like gray or silver again is beat down metal. So it's what you would expect to see on a sandblasted frame. When I got the frame back on my Roadster, it was this consistency, not smooth at all. Disappointing, but you know, that's just how it is. So I see a lot of areas where I can use that sandblaster on, especially these hard to reach spots in there. My intention, like I say, is wire wheel these gutters out and so forth, and then use the sandblaster for the rest. So I'll show you how far I've gotten. Some of that I got down. quite a bit of this I got down, and then I ran out of sand. Ran out of good sand. I got all of that out, and kind of made my way around here and got about there, okay? See the off gray or off silver? That's where I stopped. Got more work to do. So while I order more, I might as well take my wire wheel and start getting out areas I can get to. I also got, let's see if I can zoom in here without climbing in the car, that piece diagonal in the center. Got the front and the back of it. And got some stuff here, as well as stuff up in there. And again, I've got some more work over in here to do because there's still some paint and you can't tell very well. And then I'll probably blast off these things and get up in there as well. So I am not displeased. Pretty happy, actually. And I might as well get in there with sand. So what I'm going to do is sweep up that stuff. Not sure what I'll do with it because it's just sand and rust. Might find holes in my yard to put it in or something. And, you know, who knows? Or my roadster did a little bit of a leak over there, so I'll put it up there to kind of get some of the sand. God, this stuff is in my hair. It's in my back. Christ. Okay. Well, enough for now. I'm going to go inside, shower down, post this, and bid you all a good goddamned evening. Good looking vulva right there. Hmm.